I'm not here to shame anyone, but look at this box. This isn't Segway's fault. Who sent this to us? Who did they use to ship this?
FedEx.
If you guys had your choice, which shipping service would you use? What's up guys, Jimmy with Andrew. In today's video, we've got the Segway GT3.
So Segway scooters, they always come packaged well, as long as FedEx doesn't destroy it. Charger, very unique. We've never seen a 3.9 amp output, and so instead of using a standard 48 volt system, this is a 46.8 volt system with a peak output of 53.6 volts. Very unique. Not sure why Segway does it, but if you know the answer to it, let us know in the comments below. And then we have a ton of different charging cables. I'm not sure if this is going to be with your unit, but we've got name the country. I think this is Europe, US, Mexico, and Canada. I'm not sure where this one is from. This looks like a 220 volt. I'm not sure what it is. So let's move on to the unboxing. And voila, we just put in a few bolts and we should be good to go. So it's 87.1 pounds. Not too bad to lift up, but definitely not as portable as a lot of the other Segway scooters. It's a beaut though.
It is pretty.
And it's tall.
I'm a big fan of the black and gray with the red accents. Really sharp looking, and the tubular frame looks really nice. But most surprising to me is for how badly damaged that box was, I don't see any damage on the scooter. Maybe right here.
There's a little scratch. Yeah, there it is. So I could see it through the box.
Pretty surprising for how badly damaged the box was. This is the only damage on the scooter we could find. Let's go ahead and finish unboxing this guy.
A lot of times when we're setting up other scooters, the apps are just so clunky, they're hard to connect. Easy peasy, and then I need to hit power on button, unlocked. Paired successful. They do have one of the best apps. So starting with the walkthrough from the cockpit, powering it on is on the right side, half twist throttle, mechanical disc brake levers on both sides. On the right side is where you control the speed levels. And there's also boost mode. On the left side, you have a real motorcycle grade horn. On top of the horn, you have a nice bell. Turn signals that are mounted high and also in the rear, and then a headlight button.
Super crisp display, and it comes with this little visor so that you can shield the display from the sun, and it's almost kind of a spoiler type effect to help you go fast.
Nice cable management and a nice beefy mounting system to unfold it. So it's a little bit stiff when you first get the scooter, but as you ride it longer, it's not going to be as bad. It does not lock into itself when folded. And then one thing that you did notice there as well, as soon as we folded the scooter, it automatically turned off. So that's something that you can turn on and off within the app as well. Nice and rigid, no stem flex at all. One of the thickest steering pulls that we've ever seen on electric scooters. You have this front part where you can use it as a handle, but also use it as a locking point. Segway's high-powered scooters are all using this traditional X branding. Segway technology, which is in the front. The steering pole is anterior to the axle. Normally we find that this makes scooters unstable, but Segway has somehow mastered this and it feels great. In the Segway area, there's hydraulic suspension, dual fork. 11-inch tubeless pneumatic tire with self-healing gel inside of it. It is a little bit deceiving because this does look like there's a front motor, but there is no motor in the front. You have a 140mm brake disc with 2-piston mechanical disc brakes. Charge port that's on the front, but also has a plastic gasket to keep it waterproof. Inside the deck is an 899 watt-hour battery, and in total the scooter has an IPX6 water resistance rating. Tapered kick plate with tubular design. In the rear you have a tail light that acts as a brake light. Turn signals built into the frame. Another 11-inch tubeless pneumatic tire with self-healing gel, and a 1200 watt motor with a peak output of 2400 watts. And then another 140mm brake disc with 2-piston mechanical disc brakes. Underneath the frame you have coil suspension. Let's get some quick measurements so you know what you're dealing with. The handlebar width is 26 inches wide. Handlebar height from the deck is going to be about 42.5 inches. The deck width is 7 inches wide. So the deck length from end to end is going to be 27 inches long, but the usable flat space is really about 18 inches long. And then looking at the deck clearance, I'll have Jimmy tell you where that's at.
7.5.
It's a really tall scooter. A lot of scooters are between 4 to 6 inches tall off of the ground. Ground to handlebar height is 53.5 inches.
We're gonna plug this in, get it freshly charged, get our safety gear on, and take it for a ride. Okay, we got our gear on, we got the scooter freshly charged, and we are out for the ride. Andrew, what are your first impressions?
This is a finely crafted machine, solid built. There's a lot of scooters in this price point, but nothing feels as solid as this scooter.
It looks good, it sounds good, it feels good. We're gonna keep riding. At our next stop, we're gonna tell you what we love about this scooter. Okay, so we're gonna do a poor man's speed test down here. We're cruising at a comfortable about 23 miles an hour. Andrew, what speed should we expect?
It says 31 miles per hour, and Segway is typically on point with their top speed marks.
I'm accelerating, I'm hitting about 30 right now.
29, 30, 31, and we're stopping at 31. 31.
I'm going 33. Mine had me going about 33, what'd you get?
This said 31 miles per hour, and that sounds about right because the EUC that Jimmy's on is always overstating speeds. And one thing about this scooter is you can feel that it wants to go faster than 31 miles per hour, but Segway caps you out at 31.
Okay, there's another feature that comes in handy at times, and we're gonna show this off right here.
It's got cruise control, and on most scooters, it's pretty worthless. You have to hold your throttle down on one position for 10 seconds and then it'll activate. With this, you find the speed you like, press on this cruise control button, and now it's locked into place. Easy peasy.
Let's talk about some of the things that we love about this ride so far. This is a crowded class with a lot of scooters that go just as fast, maybe faster, but this scooter feels solid.
The feel of it does not flex at all. So a lot of these scooters in this price point have that stem flex, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. Whether you go to stop, you'll feel it flex forward. When you go to accelerate, you'll feel it flex backwards. Where the GT3 has zero flex in the steering pole.
I just love the way that the scooter looks. The black, the red, the lines, steel tubing. It's just a good looking scooter. On top of that, it's also very functional. If you look at the cockpit, the display is nice and bright. You can control just about everything using those thumb controls. Oh, that's the other thing too. It's got a functional horn for when you're on the road, which we will take this beast, and we have been taking this beast on the roads, and it keeps up with street traffic quite nicely. But if you're in an area where you don't want to use the horn, there is a bell. So I love that it gives you those two features. When we're here in the park and we need to tell pedestrians that we're coming, then we use the bell. Very nice that it offers those two features. The cockpits on the Segways are some of the cleanest, some of the easiest to use.
The turn signals are ultra bright, high mounted, and also in the rear.
And just like the other scooters of 2025 that have been coming out from Segway, it's packed with a lot of really cool tech. You can use turn-by-turn directions. You pair it with your phone, and now instead of having to reach into your pocket to pull out your phone to figure out which direction, which turn you need to do next, it's all on this display. On top of that, you have Apple Find My and other features like Park on Hill mode, so that the scooter won't roll back on a hill. A lot of cool features that Segway has really put a lot of thought into that you can turn on or turn off using the app, depending on how you like your ride.
Yeah, and let's show you what that Park on Hill mode looks like. So right now, if I was trying to park the scooter down this hill, see, it would just roll forward. So let me put that kickstand down again, and then you'll see the scooter wants to just roll forward. But with this park mode engaged, I just hold the brake down for 3 seconds. Park mode is on, and now it's not going to roll forward or backwards.
Try pushing it forward, what happens? You feel resistance, right?
Yeah, there's a resistance in there, and you can see it does not want to roll forward.
And some of the other cool tech that we use on a regular basis is this is smart enough to know to turn off when you fold it. And another cool tech is you can schedule when this can charge, and you can actually put a charge limit so that you don't have to charge to 100%, just like the features that you have on your iPhone to help prolong the battery life.
Yeah, and I'll mention the two functions that I like the most with the technology is that I can actually do burnouts now. Most scooters, when you apply braking, you cannot use the throttle. With the app, you can override that feature and do burnouts. The other thing I love about it is the locking and unlocking features. So there's so many different ways of doing it. You can do a code unlocking, you can do a pattern unlocking depending on how you press on the brake levers, and you can also have an air unlocking where you use your phone to unlock it based off of proximity. But the other cool feature about the locking system is that it has an alarm system. So when I go to move the scooter and it's been powered off, you're gonna see that it says theft warning activated, starts honking, and it's really loud.
Great options to help prevent theft, and then you've got the Apple Find My in the event of theft. The scooter is really loaded with a lot of cool tech that we're seeing in these newer scooters from Segway coming out this year in 2025.
I love puncture-resistant tires. There's nothing worse than dealing with the flat tire. It's packed with a lot of safety features. It's got an IPX6 water resistance rating, UL rated, so you don't have to worry about lithium fires, and a smart BMS to help prolong the life of your battery.
And we've been riding around in the city, in the park, and I will say it is very zippy. While the top speed isn't the highest, there are going to be scooters that go faster. This scooter ride is smooth and Andrew looks comfortable. And we're going to keep cruising. At our next stop, we are going to talk about the things that we don't like about the scooter, and on the way, maybe we'll throw in a brake test or something. All right, as we're riding, some of you guys may be wondering, why do we look extra stylish today and extra protected? That's because of this Beyond Riders gear that we're busting out. The weather is starting to warm up. It's still a little chilly, so we're wearing this stuff by Beyond Riders gear.
It's their mesh jackets. It's got Kevlar lining in them. Also chest pads, back pads, shoulder pads, and elbow pads. I'm wearing the Beyond Rider Gear jeans, which have knee pads, hip pads, and Kevlar lines. So in case I fall, it should help protect me well.
The wind is actually going right through this jacket. It's helping me to keep that perfect temperature, so I'm not overheating, but I'm not cold. And at the same time, I'm protected by all these pads. Thank you to the folks at Beyond Riders Gear. Check out our link down below. This stuff is good stuff. It'll keep you protected and keep you looking good while you're riding.
So Segway has a function called brake priority. I call it burnout priority. And essentially, normally when you have your hands on the brakes, the throttle will not work. On this scooter, when you have your hands on the brake and you go to throttle, normal scooters will not allow you to do that. So I do love that Segway gives us the option to burn out our tires if we want to. And one thing you want to make sure is that if you're ever doing those burnouts, turn off traction control.
As we're cruising, we're gonna test out those brakes, those mechanical disc brakes. We're gonna do our standard 20 miles an hour, and then Andrew's gonna brake, and we're gonna see how far it takes for him to stop. All right, and it looks like your braking started right around here.
Pretty standard, 18 feet to stop from 20 miles per hour to 0.
So average braking for this, what you expect for mechanical disc brakes. Let's keep riding. Whoa, you all right?
Some strong brakes there.
Let's talk about some of the things that could improve on this scooter.
It's the top speed for me. 31 miles per hour is simply not enough for some people, and I'm a speed demon and it's not enough for me. I haven't had any issues with the brakes, but I wish that Segway would finally start adopting hydraulic brakes on any of their scooters.
I love that Segway has packed all this tech into the scooter, but for some people, you may not need all these features.
Apple Find My is nice if you have an iPhone, but it's terrible if you use an Android, so I wish they had something that could work on every operating system.
From a practicality standpoint, I like scooters that when I fold them, I can lock them, so it's easier for me to pick up and load into my car or just lift and put away. In this case, there's no way to lock the scooter once it's in the folded position.
The front-facing light, it's great that it's high mounted. It's pretty decently bright. However, I don't like that you can't adjust the angle of it. The front suspension does not have a ton of travel, and it's easy to bottom out underneath my 200-pound frame. So the GT3 is not great for off-roading, but perfectly fine for commuting on smooth pavement. I always prefer to turn off kick to start on scooters. This is nice because I can adjust it in the app to turn it off. However, it always puts this auto braking feature on.
The auto park feature is anytime the scooter is idle for 3 seconds, then it goes into park mode and the throttle stops working. In order to disengage that, you just need to engage the brakes and you can ride as you were before. Once you get used to it, it's not a problem.
With the GT3, it's instantaneous that I can throttle, so I do like that. The GT3 has some of the best turn signals that we've seen on an electric scooter, but there's no way for them to time out. And last but not least is the battery size for the scooter. It's only 899 watt hours. It's not tiny like the Max G3, but it's not massive like the other scooters that are within the same price and class of scooters. Although this is by far the sturdiest built scooter in this class, it's one of the smallest batteries in the class as well.
Let's answer the question, who should get the Segway GT3?
It's the person who loves the best quality scooter with the most tech, but doesn't mind having a top speed of 31 miles per hour. If 30 is plenty, this is the scooter for you.
It's got a ton of great features, so techies are gonna love this, but it's not gonna be the most portable scooter. Check out our full written review at freshlycharged.com, and remember, when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.